Hello, and welcome back to Sakura Saturdays. I will touch real quick. Last week, had a D&D game with Round Stump, and decided I want to do that more. So, to make up for that, we're going to be doing 2 hours. That's why we're starting at 6 p.m. to accommodate for that, because I do have stuff that I do on Saturday nights outside of streaming and D&D and all that. With that out of the way, you'll notice you have my lovely face now with the webcam. I don't know if anybody watching has seen any of the stuff I've been doing over the last couple weeks, but I did get a webcam, so now you can see my actual reactions to some of the bullshit that comes up in these types of games. I did put a post out. Anyone from the Round Stump is welcome to jump in on Discord and join in the fun, add their voice into the whole deal. Before we get started... Never stream sober. Especially not a soccer game. Alright. So, I don't remember much, because it was 2 weeks ago, but from what I do remember is, we are... I think the name is Mikoto. I think that's our name. Or at least my name, since I'm voicing the Mikoto character. But, we are a fox girl, our mom is a badass, we're kind of a weakling, and we sort of snuck off to go to a human festival, even though our tutor's like, no, don't go to the human festival. They're horrible people, because we think that our tutors are racist against humans for whatever reason, but I'm betting there's a good reason for it. Anyway, we left off just as we got to the, festival, and we are going to load that up real quick. Yeah, I knew it was Mikoto. Okay. Amazing. Oh, right, you guys can't see my cursor, so that doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, I should probably turn on the music. There we go. Now you guys can hear the epic music that, Sakura tends to put in their games to cover up the fact that they have horrible sound design. Alright. This place isn't... Yeah. I didn't do any vocal exercises this time, I'm sorry. I'm gonna fuck up a lot. Sorry, microphone had to be adjusted. This place really is amazing. I glanced around at the festival stalls, my eyes wide with disbelief. I'd heard from the other fox girls that this festival was fun, but I never knew it would look like this. There are dozens of stalls set up everywhere, all manned by smiling men and women with their sleeves rolled up. What do their sleeves have anything to do with it? Children scamper across a grassy field, their sandals clacking against the grass. They wear colorful outfits with long trailing sleeves and ribbons tied about their waists. The girls have flower pins in their hair, and some of the boys are wearing masks. The children are accompanied by their parents, who smile indulgently as they watch their youth play. A couple by a food stall are feeding one another bits of crispy, freshly cooked pastries, yet more couples are wandering about beneath the moonlight holding hands. Everywhere I look, there's something new to see. Yamatai, compared to this place, is incredibly dull and stale. We certainly don't have festivals like this. I haven't heard of half of the foods the vendors are selling, and I've never played any of these games. It's also new. I don't know where to look first. I don't know where to go. I just can't decide. This is way too incredible. I press a hand to my forehead. I'm so overwhelmed. It's getting harder and harder to hide my tail and ears. My magic falters, and I wince. I want to go and have fun, but all these new noises and sights and smells are a lot for a little fox girl like me to take in. Okay, so we are the girl on the right with the darker hair and the sort of red costume. What question mark is this girl, who now I have to give a voice? I gave our tutor like Russian oligarch voice, so I give this girl. I'm not using the Momoko voice from Sakura Beach. That's just going to be too much on my throat. I will be making some of these girls sound like men, though, just because I'm not good at making feminine voices. Hence why I put the feelers to people on Discord. One second, I gotta check something. Okay. Excuse me. No, that's too much to go some Momoko. Excuse me. Are you alright, miss? Nope, I need to be in the right thing. Ah! A woman manning a nearby stall is looking at me. It's one of the quietest stalls with a trough of water set in front filled with splashing fish. Now I wonder what this stall is for. The woman herself is very pretty. She has fair hair, so blonde is almost white, and gentle blue eyes. Unlike many of the other festival goers, this woman isn't wearing a cotton robe. Instead, she's attired in what looks like armor, with silvery gauntlets and greaves. Won't be surprised to see a sword strapped to her back. But no, there's no weapon. Not on her, at least. But when I crane my neck, I can see a hilted sword at the back of the stalls, laying against one of the wooden supports. How ominous. Are you a knight? Oh, now I gotta get her the annoying voice. You could tell! You kind of stand out just a little. I could say the same about you! What do you mean? She hasn't realized I'm a fox girl, has she? I'm using magic tied my tail and ears, but maybe something about my demeanor has given me away. I don't want this pretty night girl to cut my head off. She won't cut my head off, would she? I can't tell, since she's sheathed and all, but I bet that sword of hers is pretty sharp. Oh, don't look so shocked. I'm not upset with you. I was merely pointing out the facts. Warren is a small village, but I've never seen you here before, and you're staring at all the stalls like a little child might. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your first time at Warren Harvest Festival? Oh, yes, that's right. I heave a sigh of relief. So this knight hasn't seen past my ruse. She must have taken me for an outsider, but not necessarily a threat. So long as she thinks I'm a human, I shouldn't come to any harm. At least, I hope I don't. I'm a traveller. I came here to look around the festival. To be honest, I've never seen anything quite like it before. You wouldn't be the first to say that. Warren is small, but a harvest festival is known across the land. Travellers always come here at that time of year. I'm quite accustomed to it. Really, I enjoy talking to others from different cultures. I travelled a fair bit myself in the past, so I've seen a lot of the land. But ever since I've returned home, I haven't had a chance to talk to many interesting people. You're the most intriguing person I've seen all night. It really is a shame, though. The woman pouts and kicks the grass with the tip of her shoe. The village chief, Unwin, is strict about outsiders. He doesn't trust anyone who wasn't born within 10-mile radius of Warren. And the rest of the village council aren't much better. The council? They're the people who run the village. They're worried about the influx of outsiders. Every harvest festival might have negative effects, shall we say, upon the village and its people. Our councillors are old men and women, and they distrust the outside world. That sounds pretty familiar. Oh? Is it the same where you come from too? Pretty much, yeah. I'm not even supposed to be here, strictly speaking. I sneaked out. Hannah hears about this. She'll scold me until my ears fall off. She can be pretty scary. Some of the Warren's councillors are scary too. They say they'll have our village's best interests at heart, but I wonder. The knight sighs. It seems rather gauche asking knights to oversee a night of celebration like this. My armor stands out horribly among the happy crowds. I'd much prefer to wear a kimono like everyone else, but I'm not allowed. I'm a knight, so I have to look the part. I'm here as a precaution to scare away any ne'er-do-wells. So, what do you think? Am I scary enough for you? Positively terrifying. The two of us look at each other for a while, our faces impassive, and then after a pause we begin to giggle. Well, I'm glad I'm not too frightening. I wouldn't want to scare you off. You couldn't. Do your worst.
Is that an invitation?
The knight examines me, then laughs again.
Well, no matter. I doubt I'll need to take up my sword tonight. I've kept watch over this festival for the last 5 years, and nothing bad has happened yet. With a little luck, things will stay that way. I'd like to believe in the inherent goodness of others, and this festival is a time of joy and celebration. I don't particularly want to wield my sword or shed blood. That would ruin the atmosphere.
Well, don't worry. I don't want to cause any problems. I'm just here to have fun.
Yes, I can tell. I know you were trustworthy the moment I saw you, though I can't say why. Maybe it's the shape of your eyes.
The knight examines me, her head tilted to one side. The blue gaze is piercing, and I feel a blush creeping into my cheeks. Why is she looking at me like that? Is there something on my face?
Oh no, I'm sorry for staring. It was rude of me. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable, it's all. Are you sure we haven't met before?
I don't think so, no. It's impossible. I've never been to Warden Village before. Even if I had, I think a bit of human like this would stick out in my mind.
I see. What a pity. I must be confusing you with somebody else. So, brave traveller, if it may be so bold to ask, what is your name?
Mikoto.
Mikoto. How exotic. You wouldn't find anyone with a name like that in Warden Village. You really are a traveller. I suppose it would be only polite for me to introduce myself in turn. My name is Juniper, but you may call me Junie. Well met.
Juniper, or Junie, shall I say, held out a hand. Looked at it blankly, my brow furrowed. What?
Oh, I meant for us to shake hands as a form of greeting. Do you not do this where you're from?
No, my people are quite reserved, usually bow instead, but since I'm in your village, I should adopt your customs. Here. I stick out my hand clumsily, gripping Junie's fingers with my own, then I pop it on down. I'm not entirely sure if I'm doing it right. I've never partook in such a tradition before, but Junie is smiling, so I guess I didn't do anything too offensive.
What a vigorous handshake! You've certainly got power, Mikoto. But do you have dexterity too? That's what you'll need if you wish to play my game.
A game? Oh, I see. What sort of stall are you running exactly?
Can't you tell? It's a game where you scoop up fish. If you manage to catch any of them, you can keep them as pets.
Pets? And my brow furrows. So you don't eat the fish?
Well, you could if you wanted, but they're only little goldfish. I don't think they have much meat on their bones. If you want a bite to eat, you should head over there.
Junie points at the store opposite of hers, where a long line is forming.
Fallon's Taiyaki? Okay. Fallon's Taiyaki are to die for.
Taiyaki?
They're pastries shaped like fish, and they're crammed full of delicious fillings, chocolate and cream and the like. You can pick whatever you like. The rest, those fish would be far more delicious than mine.
So that's where those pastries are. I'd seen a few kids walking along eating these strange fish-shaped pastries, but I didn't know what they were called. You learn something new every day. Those taiyaki things do look pretty good, but how am I supposed to get one?
You wait in line and tell Fallon what you want, then you give him money, obviously.
I was preconditioned to say him, but I'm guessing this is one of those games where every character is a girl for whatever reason. So, give her money, obviously. Money?
Yes, money! Gold, silver, and bronze coins. Currency! Don't you have that where you come from either?
Not really. When we want things, we usually trade for them.
I see. So you came all this way to a festival, but you don't have any money on you?
No, I don't. I knew I should have asked Shizuka about this, but I didn't want her writing me out. Now I look like an idiot. What am I gonna do?
Hey, it's okay. Don't lose heart.
But if I don't have any money, I can't buy anything to eat.
That's a bummer, isn't it?
It really is. I wanted to try those funny pastries, and I wanted to play your fish game too.
You did?
Yeah, it looks like fun. I've never played a game like that before, and I'll never get the chance.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that myself. You might not have any money, but I do. I'd feel awful if you came all this way to the festival and had to turn around and go home, because of one little mistake. So here.
Julie reaches into her pocket and extracts a few coins. She holds them to me. The bronze edges shimmer beneath the lanterns.
This isn't much, but you should be able to buy yourself something to eat. And if you really want to scoop some goldfish, I'll throw that in as a bonus, because I'm so nice.
Hey, but that money belongs to you, doesn't it?
It did belong to me, yes, but I want to give it to you.
That's very kind of you, but we're still strangers. I don't know if I really deserve it. I don't want to be a bother.
No bother, silly. If you try to scoop a bunch of fish at my stall, you might attract some more customers. Then I'll be able to make all this money back. It's an investment. Plus, I want to see you enjoy yourself. That would make me happy too.
But why?
It's hard to say. You just remind me of somebody, that's all. I had a friend who looked a lot like you. I always liked it when she smiled. And I want you to smile too.
I don't know if I really get it, but thanks.
It's no problem. Now, do you want to try scooping some goldfish? I'll cheer you on if you like.
You're awfully excited about this.
Well, yeah. Goldfish scooping is a staple at any festival. It used to be, at least, but now shooting ranges are all the rage. Old men. Emmerich's stall has been booming tonight. Well, I've only had a handful of customers. It really is too sad. Why don't kids want to scoop goldfish anymore? Since when did goldfish become uncool? It's so unfair.
Julie steps her foot against the ground and I laughed. So that's why her stall's so empty. It also explains why she's so desperate to get me to play her game. Well, if she's that desperate, I suppose I can give it a try. Hey, Junie, don't worry. You've given me this opportunity. I'm not going to waste it. I'll catch every single fish that's still in the trough, and I'll defend your honor. I won't let Emmerich's shooting range beat you. Oh.
What? How cool. You really are cool, Mikoto. What is this reaction suddenly? Then, take your weapons!
Junie thrust several papery scoops into my hands with all the force you'd expect from a knight.
I'll leave the fate of my poor, unpopular stall up to you.
No problem, Junie. Just sit back and relax. I've got this. It feels kind of nice to be relied on for once. Nobody in Yamatai has any faith in me, but Junie's different. We just met, and I want to show her the very best side of me personally. Best side of my personality. My god, my voice is terrible some of these times, I'm sorry. I don't have many friends in this world, but it'd be nice if I could make one new ally, if only for tonight. For now, that's all I want. Man. So, hold on. Can I... oh no, yeah, this is zoomed in. I'm not going to be able to have my fingers actually point at stuff, so... Oh, it's mirrored too, so I'm looking in the wrong direction. Yeah. Yeah, no, the thighs be dummy thick. Why... I give Mikoto such a... more... adult voice, but she seems so childish. I mean, I guess technically it's Sakura game, so she's of age, whatever her race is. But she just seems so childish. This still the kitty face up her lip with the little fang coming out. It gives her a very childish look. But the melons do not. Alright, let's keep going. This game music is grating. I thought for sure I was going to get it this time. That's so unfair. My scoop ripped again. I can't believe this.
Ha ha ha! Are you having fun, Mikoto?
I don't know if fun is the right word. This game is infuriating. These fish are a lot quicker than I thought they'd be. What have you been feeding them anyway?
Nothing in particular, just fish food. Why? You don't think I've rigged the game, do you?
I don't know. It's always a possibility. Ohana is always telling me that humans are greedy, selfish creatures. Rigging a child's game would fit right into your standard human's MO, but I don't know if Junie's the sort to indulge in petty tricks.
How rude! My fish shooting style is completely above board. Of that I can assure you. I'm a proud knight, and I will never condone tricks and cheats.
I figured as much. Sorry for doubting you. I didn't think you'd do anything bad, but this game is pretty rough.
That's because you need to work on your technique. You have to move the scoop at an angle, and you have to be fast too. If you tarry too long, wait till the fish will tear the paper, and then it will fall back into the trough.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, I've had first-hand experience of that happening. I only have one scoop left, and I haven't caught a single fish. Talk about humiliating. If I want to impress Junie, I'll need to make this last one count. And Himiko's total. I should be able to do at least this much. I roll up my sleeves, my fingers grip the handle of the scoop even tighter, while my legs shift against the grassy ground. I lean towards the trough. The breeze blows the scent of frying octopus and fish like big pastries into my nostrils, but I ignore it. I zero in on one fish in particular, to the right-hand side of the tank. It's hemmed in between two other fish, and it looks trapped. It's the perfect target. Now! I fling my arm out, fast as lightning, ready to scoop up the fish. I fling my arm out a little too far, actually, and...
Mikoto!
I hit the side of the trough. The trough tips precariously to one side and cold water splashes all over me.
I just need some excuse to only have water appear on her boobs.
My hair, my face, and my shirt too. They're all soaked.
Mikoto, are you alright?
I actually, I'm a little chilly.
Oh no, I hope you didn't catch a cold. Don't worry, Mikoto, I have a towel behind my stall. I'll just go grab it.
But Junie's voice fades away. She's staring at me as though she's seeing me for the first time, a curious expression on her face. Huh? What is it? I didn't do anything to offend you, did I?
No, but you...
What? Junie opens her mouth, ready to respond, but...
Hey, what's that over there? Who's that strange girl by Junie's stall? I've never seen her before. She must be an outsider. She's even more than an outsider. Look at her ears. Look at that tail.
Is that a fox here? How long's she been here?
What center of fish like that do in our village?
By this point, it feels like everybody in the festival is looking at me. If the woman manning the teriyaki stall, and the girls selling kitty apples, and the men by the shooting range, the lovey-dovey couples, and the happy families, and the young kids, all eyes in the immediate vicinity are trained upon me, cold and searching. I didn't see any funs in their faces. They're all staring at me like I'm some kind of a parasite. Nobody moves, but I can sense the unease in the air. This is the calm before the storm. They're staring me down, weighing me up, deciding what to do. Do they mean to hurt me? Why would they? They shouldn't know who I am. I was using magic to disguise my true identity, but... I slowly reach up, my hands press against the top of my head. I feel smooth, damp hair, fluffy, damp ears. My ears. The spell must have worn off. I was so shocked after getting soaked I couldn't help keep my disguise up. I could try to use the spell again, but it's far too late. Everybody already looking at me. They already know. Now the citizens of Foreign Village have realized I'm a fox girl. I doubt they'll be so welcome anymore. I've ruined everything. Hey, oh, wait, I can explain. I try to hold off the villagers' ire, but my words seem to have the opposite effect. Their eyes flash, and they snarl at me like rabid dogs.
Leave this place, you can't welcome me. If you let you stay here too long, you'll be bringing misfortune down on all of us. We have to drive her out.
But I glance around, searching for a friendly face. I wonder if Ayaka and Shizuka are here. And the others are somewhere in the crowd, still disguised as humans. What if they are? I can't see them. I'm all alone. I wasn't doing anything wrong, I just wanted to enjoy the festival.
And why do you think a piece like you has any right to go to our festival? You shouldn't even be here. Well, she was right, you're kind of evil. Get trusted. I bet you'd use our flesh and bone for your magic if you had a chance.
No, that isn't true, I wouldn't.
Silence!
A man who I take to be the village chief cries out, spittle flying from his mouth in impotent rage. Sorry, I got a little bit of... I need this. Yeah, Mikito is kind of cute. She's got that... Well, she's got the body of an adult, but I feel like she has the mind of a child, unfortunately, which just makes it a little weird to me. But... Okay. Back into it.
We cannot permit a monster like you to speak, or else you will curse us all.
A curse? No way! Maybe she'll make our hair fall out. It's so creepy. It's not fair. This was my first date with Hero, and she's ruined it. A gaggle of girls in colourful robes, their hair tied up in intricate spirals, glare at me. These girls look to be about the same as me, other than my ears and my tail. We look rather similar. If I was a normal human, I'm sure we could be friends. But I'm not a human. I'm a fox girl. And they're looking at me like I'm a piece of garbage. I don't want to curse anybody. I came here because I love humans.
You love us?
That's right. I came here to see if we could get along. We might be different species, but I don't see why we should hate one another. I had hoped in time we might even be able to form an alliance.
An alliance? Ha! Over my dead body! Here!
Way too much pride, Kev, with a jackal like you. A jackal? You must be mistaken. I'm a fox girl, and
I'll tell you what you are. You're a wily beast who wants to do us harm, but we won't let that happen. You've had your chance to leave our village peacefully, monster. Now we have no choice but to make you leave by force.
I've already forgotten Junie's voice. Oh, right, it's Dwayne's voice.
Hey, Unwin, don't you think you're being too hasty? This girl hasn't done anything yet. As the village chief, I can hardly stand here and wait until she does. The lives of my people are my utmost priority, and this girl's very existence threatens them. I won't let her hurt anybody.
So you're going to kill her?
If I must.
But that...
But nothing! Ready your weapons, everyone!
Yes, sir! The villagers hasten to obey their chief's command. Some of them pick up swords and spears concealed behind their wooden stalls, while more retrieve rocks from the grass. Damn, this has escalated so quickly! Ducking is hard. I don't know why, but I'm super satisfied that I was able to give each of those villagers a separate, like, hillbilly voice. Alright. Among them is found the tall woman who's running the taiyaki stall. Does she want to hurt me too? I need to run. I know I have to run, but I can't move. My body's completely frozen. I didn't want things to turn out like this. I just wanted to make friends with these humans, so why?
Now let us show the intruder what we do with creatures like her. Right, you old sheep weed. You can rely on this. I'll tear out her tail. We will never make mockery of this.
I wince and take a tremulous step back, eyes wide as I feel something hard struck my cheek. Did somebody throw a rock at me? Those sound effects are so bad. I don't have time to process this attack, however, because I'm so soon assaulted by another sharp burst of pain and another. It hurts. I never asked for this.
There's plenty more where that came from. Let's keep it up. Right. Hey, stop all that. We should talk this out.
Junie calls that the angry villagers, but it's too little avail. They're already intent on shedding blood. My blood. A wave of villagers swarms towards me, swords and spears in hand. They're going to kill me. In that case, I have to run. Crap. I need to get out of here. Finally, my legs become unstuck. They still feel weak and unstable, but I can run again. I dash away, my heart thumping in my chest, while volleys of stones fly after me. One sharp rock cracks the back of my head, and I stumble, but I don't fall. I can't.
Go after her! Do not let her get away!
The villagers with weapons are chasing after me, their feet thudding against the dirt. I run harder than I ever have before, but I don't know if it's enough. Despite my training sessions with Ohana, I'm still too weak. Why am I so pathetic? I tear away from the festival grounds and dash to the trees. I don't have any magical powers, so I can't defend myself. All I can do is flee, weaving this way and that like demented fish. My physical strength leaves much to be desired. My heart seizes up in my chest and it's hard to breathe. The back of my head pounding painfully. Those rocks must have struck with a lot of force because I can feel discombobulated, uneasy in my own legs. Each and every step is agony. It hurts. It hurts.
She's slowing down. We should be able to catch her. Let's punish her. The humans are will push over, especially how strong we really are.
I'm not good at reading this, like, automatopoeias. I pause by an oak tree, grasping for breath. My body is stumped over in pain. My fingers gripping through the rough bark so hard it hurts. When I bring a hand into my scalp, I can feel blood. My fingers camel away, stained crimson. The thick, viscous liquid shimmers in the moonlight. All of a sudden, I feel sick. My vision begins to blur. Oh, I can't keep going.
Stop running! You don't want to tire yourself out further. Can't you see that you've got a hope of winning? Your time's already up.
A villager is upon me. Now, a tall, handsome woman. I love these voices. It's all women. They talk about men, but it's all women that seem to actually interact. Also, I love this voice that I've apparently given to a woman. Sorry. A tall, handsome woman with a square jaw holding a wooden spear. She isn't wearing armor like Junie, but she looks like a warrior. It's Fallon. It's hard to believe that only a few minutes ago she was serving sweet pastries to the young boys and girls in the festival. She was smiling back then without a care in the world, and now her face is tense with concentration, and I know she means to hurt me. No, wait, please. I step back and bump into the trunk of the largest oak tree. There's nowhere for me to run. My body aches too much. My head is spinning, and this woman is getting closer and closer.
I'm sorry, old miss. I don't want to hurt you. I need to protect my village. It's all carrying out the chief's wishes, so please forgive me for being so cruel. Now prepare yourself. I won't show you any mercy.
I'm not going to say you could. It's just such a cringe thing for me. I don't know why. I hate that it's an onomatopoeia. I crouch to the ground, hands over my head, and close my eyes. I know as the woman's weapon whistles towards me that I'm going to be killed. Oh, don't give me the question marks, because then I don't know how to voice them properly. Damn it. I'm thinking it's Ohana. Enough. A hair clatter above my head, wood against steel, fell and grasped in surprise, and I thought I can't see her face. I'm sure her eyes are bulging open in shock.
What are you doing here, Junie?
Oh, it's Junie, okay, so I can just keep it in the white voice. Huh? Junie? Did she come here to finish me off herself? I thought she'd stay back in the village, but I cracked my eyes open and lifted my head. Hell yeah, that's a badass image. Even though that sword gets really low res the closer it is to the screen. You can tell, like, near the handle, better resolution. Near the tip, that's MS Paint. Junie does look pretty badass, though, in that scene. They did the teeth really well. I see way too often in these anime stills where they don't have the back teeth shown, and it's like, oh, they must have just like a flat pane of teeth in the front. But yeah, this is a good image. If it weren't for the fact that, like I said, it gets very MS Paint near the tip of the sword, I'd like this one. Junie is standing before me, and her ashen hair fluttering behind her like a cape. She holds her sword in her hand, and her cold eyes are burning with hard, steely determination. She isn't pointing a sword at me, though. Instead, she's pointing it at...
Leave her alone, Fallon!
Fallon stares at Junie, her expression disbelieving.
What are you talking about, Junie? Don't you hear what the chief said? We have to get rid of her, one way or another. Really? And do you always do everything the chief says? Wait, no, but... And does this girl look like a threat to you?
Junie glances at me. I'm still crouched on the ground, shivering. I don't think I could get up if I tried.
You're right, Kelsh.
Fallon sighs and draws in a breath, pressing her fingers against her temple.
I don't think she's ill now, but she did disrupt our festivals. That much can't be refuted. So you think she deserves to die because of that? I thought you were more honorable than that, Fallon. I never imagined I would see you threatening to harm somebody far weaker than you, who can't fight back. You've disappointed me. Disappointed you? Well, I'm all trying to protect our village. By murdering this poor creature, please. Well...
Fallon glances away, her brow furrowed. There's a lot of furrowed brows in this episode for whatever reason. It's really weird. Well, I didn't want to kill her, not necessarily. I was hoping if I injure her a little, she won't have gumption to run away on her own. Now, gumption is the right word for the accent I've given to Fallon. It seems like they have a lot of random colloquialisms within the text. Like they just it's a Japanese to English translation, so I'm sure they just like randomly picked words that seemed right. But the colloquialisms are just all over the map. I feel awful causing her pain, but no matter what you say, she can't stay here. She's a fox girl. You hear the story about them, haven't you? They're supposed to be dangerous. Fox girl or no, she's still a living creature, and she's suffering. We need to take care of her. Now, Mikoto, you poor thing. Junie sheathes her sword and turns to look at me, her eyes soft with concern. She bends down, arm outstretched, her fingers pointed upwards at the brilliant moon.
Can you stand? If not, you can take my hand.
But you're not meant to help me. If you do, you'll get in trouble.
Oh, I'm always getting into trouble. The village leader says I'm too unconventional to be a proper knight. But what does he know? I don't care about being conventional, not if it will help you. Now here.
Junie's fingers coil around mine. Slowly she helps me to my feet. Just a few seconds earlier, I thought I was going to die. But now Junie is here. She saved me. She saved my life, and
Mikoto! Hey, Mikoto!
all of a sudden I feel incredibly tired. What little strength remains in my body evaporates, and with a soft sigh I fall into Junie's waiting arms. After that, all I see is a deep, impenetrable darkness. Why the fuck is Miko... What the fuck? Okay. Oh no, this person is injured. I need to take her back to my house and strip her naked because of reasons. I don't know, does my eyes like shifting side to side to come up? I don't think it's high enough for its camera. I need to come up with drinking game rules for Sakura Saturdays. I'm thinking either spelling errors, but then it would be a little too infrequent, because this is actually a fairly well-written game. Either that, or unnecessary stills, like something suddenly happens that just comes out of nowhere just to give us one of those sexy images of either the main character or a side character or whatever. So if it has like... It's like sexy image that has nothing related to the plot that was just going on. I might drink for that every time. I don't know. I drink no matter what. Fuck it. Ugh. I love the new chair. Let's get back into it. Yeah. Oh, what? And when I wake up, I find myself in an unfamiliar room. The walls and floor are made of wood. A shelf in a corner filled with books. The room is small, but it's certainly comfortable, and the warm sunlight streaming through the window dyes everything cold. I wince, wiping my eyes with my hand. Where am I? I'm sure I've never been here before. This is nothing like my room back in Yamatai, with its tatami floors and sliding doors. All things considered, I should probably be unnerved. But in fact, it's the exact opposite. The bedsheets feel soft against my skin, and the sunlight is deliciously warm. I can hear birds chirping in the trees beyond the window and smell delicious mouth-watering aroma in the air. This place feels like a pleasant dream. If I wanted, I could sit back in the bed, fall fast asleep. My eyes are already halfway shut on. I looked down at myself, blinking. That's when I realized that I'm almost completely naked, save for my underwear. Wait a second. Okay, now it's time to panic. Where'd my clothes go? Did somebody strip me? I know I'm cute, but this is taking things too far. What in the world happened last night?
Oh? Have you woken up already?
Yeah. I instinctively throw my arms around my chest in an attempt to conceal my breasts, but not so that it does much good. If anything, I only succeeded in squishing my boobs further together. They look more alluring to potential predators. This woman who just entered the room, though, doesn't seem to be interested in my body. She simply smiles, her eyes twinkling in the corners.
I'm so relieved to see you're alright.
Oh? I sigh heavily, the tension fading from my body. I know this woman is, though my memories of last night are sporty at best. This is the wife who ran the goldfish scooping stall. I believe her name was... Juniper, right?
Junie is fine.
Junie smiles at me, her hands linked together at her front.
And if you're wondering about your clothes, I hung them outside to dry.
Oh, I see. I glance out the window at the expanse of grass beyond what I assume is Junie's home. In the garden I can see a wishing line set up, my clothes hanging from it. Washing. Why did I read that as wishing? Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Got a little burpee from that beer. I didn't think you were a panty thief, but it's nice to have a little confirmation.
Of course not, I'm not a panty thief, you're still wearing your panties. I wanted to try those too, but I thought it'd be a little too much. I mean, we've only just met. Taking off all of your clothes would be a bit forward.
And Junie toys with a lock of her pale hair, her cheeks flushed. So, despite being a knight, she can get embarrassed too. Huh. How cute. This human might be fun to tease, just a little. But first I have one or two questions I'd like to ask her. Why did you remove my clothes in the first place? I don't remember you doing that.
Well, you wouldn't. You were passed out.
So you lured me back to your home in the dead of night, then pushed me onto your bed and stripped me bare. Don't you have any shame, woman?
I had to. There was no other way. Your clothes were dirty and they were all wet. I was afraid if I let you sleep like that, you'd catch a cold. I'm not a pervert, I promise. I was just trying to help.
For a girl who claims she isn't a pervert, you sure are staring at my boobs a lot. Junie's eyes snap open, her cheeks blister redder until she bears a striking resemblance to a bonfire. Since Junie's skin is so pale, she turns red easily, and makes for quite a sharp contrast with her pale, almost ashen hair. I'll have to keep that in mind for future reference.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stare. I just couldn't help it. I wasn't sure where else to put my eyes.
It's all right. You need not be bashful. I know as far as foxes go, I'm very beautiful. I have long limbs and cute fluffy tail and...
And what?
And I was just thinking, you can see my tail, can't you?
That's right, every bit as cute and fluffy as you said.
And my ears?
Pushed right on top of your head.
Then that must mean you know I'm a fox girl.
Of course, that was made quite apparent at the events last night. I know you're a fox girl, and I think everybody else in Warden Village does too.
What? That can't be true. I use magic to hide my identity. Nobody should know who I am.
They didn't at first. I must admit you had us all fooled, but your secret's well and truly out now. I don't know what spell you're using to hide your ears and tail, but I think it must be defective. Maybe you could get a refund.
Defective? That's right. That's what I am. Ohana was right. I never should have come here.
Ohana?
My tutor. She said my magic wasn't good enough to enter a human village unnoticed, and she was right. I thought I knew better than her, but I don't know anything. Now I've messed everything up. I press a hand against my mouth, my stomach churns, and I can feel bile rising in my throat. I feel sick, and the rich, milky smell in the air doesn't exactly help. Was Julie in the middle of cooking something? Maybe I interrupted her just like I interrupted her last night. It's all beginning to come back to me now, in bits and pieces. Are we having a flashback to what happened, like, literally 10 minutes ago? I trekked through the woods, the fish-scooping game, the cries of alarm, the shouts, the screams.
Is that a fox girl? How long has she been here? What's a place like that doing in our village? If we let her stay here too long, she'll be misfortune down to all of us. She isn't welcome either.
I cringe, my tail twitching with delayed panic. When those humans realized what I was, they all turned on me. They treated me like I was a monster. And to think I thought humans and fox girls could be friends. What a ridiculous idea. I really am stupid.
Mikoto! Hey! Mikoto! Are you okay?
I'm fine. It just occurred to me that if it wasn't for you, Ginny, I'd be dead by now. You saved me.
Oh no, think nothing of it. Anybody would have done the same.
But nobody did. You're the only one who helped me out. You saved my life, but I have nothing to give you in return.
You really don't need to give me anything.
But I insist. As the future head of the Yamatai clan, I can't be in a human's debt. It'd be unseemly. My mother'd never forgive me. Not that she'd forgive me anyway if she finds out what I've done. She'd flip out and Ohana too. I might have miscalculated a little. I've never been the best at math. But I at least need to make things right with you. I can't give you any money, and I don't have any jewels. But I have my body.
What? Damn! That easy, huh? Okay.
If you like, I'll let you bury your head in my boobs.
Oh, no, I appreciate the thought, but that really won't be necessary.
Oh, don't be so modest. You helped me out, so I've got to do something for you in return. It's an eye for an eye, you know. Now, why don't you touch my boobs? You can even grow them a little. I've seen how much you like them. You can't stop staring at them.
No, it's fine. I don't want to take advantage of you.
Oh, I see. So my boobs aren't good enough for you? It must be because I'm a fox girl. I know you humans don't like my kind. You're probably afraid I'll taint you.
That's not true at all. The others in my village might think that way, but they're old and jaded. They can't see beyond their own silly prejudices, but I can. I don't care if you're a fox girl, you're still a living being with thoughts and feelings. I saw how upset you were back at the festival and how badly you wanted to fit in. And that's why I decided to defend you. I can't stand people who harass those who have done nothing wrong. It's unjust. I became a knight so I could fight on behalf of people like you.
But, surely you want some kind of reward.
No, I don't. I didn't help you because I wanted any underhanded rewards. Simply performing a good deed was more than enough for me. I'm happy you recovered, so please don't force yourself right now. You need to rest.
That's right. I looked at my lap suddenly abashed. I only wanted to make amends with Junie, but it seems my oversized attitude has made things even worse. One always says I'm too rash. I guess she's right. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. That's how I got into this huge mess to begin with. I just didn't think, and now I've placed a huge burden on you. I'm getting in your way, and I have no way to repay you either.
You're not getting in my way, silly. I brought you back to my home because I wanted to. This was my choice, so you have no need to apologize. I'm old enough to accept the consequences of my actions.
Right, I've looked at Judy hopefully. You sure you don't want to feel my boobs? They're very nice and soft.
I'm sure they are. I mean, you're very attractive, but, well,
Judy's fingers twitched at her sides. After a few moments, I wonder if she's going to take me up on my offer. I wait and wait, but... I sniff, my nose twitching. Is it just my imagination, or is something burning?
Burning?
Judy looks at me for a few moments, her expression impassive before...
Oh no, I forgot to put the porridge on the stove! I'm sorry about the porridge, I hope you can still eat it at least.
Oh, no, it's fine. I blow my charred porridge, which is still steaming hot, then bring the spoon to my lips. I guess the porridge does taste a little weird, but it's not entirely inedible. Besides, it'd be rude to complain about now, just after Judy went to all the effort of making it for me. She didn't have to. Neither did she have to rescue me last night. She put herself in danger to help me, a stranger who she hardly knows. She really is kind. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. I'm not sure thanking her for the porridge or my newly dried clothes. I want to let her know how grateful I am for everything she's done.
Haha, thanks! The porridge would taste better if I hadn't let it burn, though. It's a pity.
Judy pouts.
I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I'm a competent cook, I promise.
I'm sure you're a better cook than me, at least.
Now I'm curious, what sort of foods do fox girls eat?
Mostly fish and nuts and berries. Whatever we can hunt in the forest, really. We don't have a fancy cuisine like this.
Porridge isn't that fancy, you know.
It's not.
No, it's quite cheap, actually. Maybe I should have made you something more hearty, like an omelette, or maybe some toast, but I thought porridge would be easier on your stomach. I wasn't sure if you could handle anything too heavy after... well...
Judy's voice trails off, but I know what she's referring to. The rocks, spears, swords. The back of my head still hurts, though my scalp's stopped bleeding. Judy must have soaked my wounds in warm water while I was still insensible. My lifeless body sprawled on her bed. What would I do without her?
Do you feel a bit better, at least?
I feel fine.
You don't have a headache? Any aching limbs, broken bones?
I don't think so, no. I'm just a little sleepy.
Thank goodness, I was so worried about you. You just collapsed in my arms like a little doll.
Sorry about that. I was kind of stressed at the time. Does that mean you carried me back to your home?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, now I feel embarrassed. I hope I wasn't too heavy.
You were fine. If anything, I was concerned about how light you were. You should eat a bit more to get more color back into your cheeks. I'm not entirely convinced you when you said you're fine. Why don't you try your porridge with this?
Ginny passes me a jar filled to the brim with a red, sticky substance.
It's sweet, so it should help mask how burnt the porridge is.
Huh? What is this?
It's strawberry jam! Haven't you seen it before?
Well, I've definitely had strawberries before. Let me give this a try. I unscrew the jar and stick a spoon into the sticky contents. I ladle some of the jam into my porridge, mix it in with my oats, then bring my spoon to my lips. I wasn't expecting too much from so-called jam, and yet... to my surprise, it tastes pretty good. In fact, it's better than good. This is delicious.
I'm glad I made my... I'm glad I made that jam myself, you know.
You did? Well, it's so sweet. Tastes like fairy's nectar. You really are talented.
Oh, I'm not really.
If that's what Junie says, with the awkward smile on her face, totally screams, yes, please me more. Junie might be human, but she's not all that hard to read. Maybe we humans and fox girls are not so dissimilar after all. And that being the case, why did the villagers of Warren react so negatively towards me? I've never met any of them before, but it seemed as though they truly hated me.
Hey, Mikoto, are you alright?
I'm alive, at least. There's something if it wasn't for you, though. The events of last night are still blurry, but they're starting to come back one by one. They're not the most pleasant of recollections. Is it any wonder I feel so blue? Did Valen really mean to kill me?
That is hard to say. Valen isn't a bad woman, at least. I don't think she is. He's always been a friendly, reliable person. I think she's nice, at least.
I'm not so sure about that. She threatened to kill me.
She threatened to, yes, but I don't know if she would have gone through with it. I don't know if she would have gone through with it. Valen might have been an idiot, but she's not a cruel person. She doesn't like crushing flies or tearing spider webs. I think she only intended to scare you so you'd run away. Then she'd go back to the village and tell everybody that she'd slain you. She'd be able to brag without dirtying her hands. That's what I think, at least. But it doesn't matter, because I stepped in before things could have gone out of hand.
Yes, you did. My hero. But putting Valen to one side, none of the other villagers seemed to like me much either, your chief in particular. I shudder. He was so scary.
Oh, Onwin is just an old coot. His views on the world are hopelessly outdated.
He ordered the villagers to attack me.
Well, he would. It's because he's old and prejudiced and he believes all that silly tales his mother told him when he was young.
What tales?
That fox girls tear out humans' hearts, bathe in their blood, and all sorts of nonsense. He has no proof, of course, but bigotry doesn't need proof. Unwin believes these stories, and that's proof enough for him.
It's funny, my tutor Ohana told me stories like that about humans. She said you were a wicked, violent race, and that you wouldn't hesitate to hurt creatures you don't understand. She never said anything about fox girls hurting humans, though.
Well, perhaps we're both as bad as the other. We all have our own prejudices. If our positions were reversed, and I had stumbled into your domain, maybe you would have come to my defense instead.
I doubt that. My magical powers are pretty weak. That's why I only have one tail, you see.
Yes, I was wondering about that. I didn't want to ask in case it was rude, but...
Judy peers at my tail, thoughtful look on her face.
I thought mature fox girls were supposed to have 9 tails.
Oh, no. Only the most powerful fox girls have 9 tails. Usually they're several hundred centuries old. My mustache is being weird. Keeping it in my mouth. I need beer. Alright. Most fox girls in my clan have 3 or 4 tails at the maximum. My mom's the only one with 9, and I'm the only adult with 1. At my age, I really should have 2 tails by now, but my magic's too weak, so it won't manifest. I get a lot of flack for it back home. get treated like an outcast by my fellow fox girls and by you humans. I'm starting to feel like I don't belong anywhere.
Well, you're not alone in that. Many other villagers won't think I'm strange too. I guess we're both weird. That being the case, why don't you stay here?
Huh? I stared at Junie, my mouth hanging open. You mean I can live with you?
For a few days at least. You said You said you're well enough, but I'm worried you might have a concussion. You were bleeding quite badly when I examined you last night, and I wouldn't want you collapsing in the forest.
That's, very kind of you, but I looked down at my lap, my fingers twined together. We're in a Warren village, right? None of the humans here like me. If they found me, they'd hurt me, and they might hurt you too.
No, they won't.
But how can you be so certain?
Nobody will find out you're here. My home isn't built in Warren itself. It's on the outskirts of the village, half hidden in the woods. The only person who knows I brought you here is Fallon, and I trust her not to rat you out. The two of us are childhood friends, and she owes me a few favors. If she does betray me, however...
In what?
I'll make her rue the day she was born.
Junie gestures towards her sword, which is lying sheathed on one of the chairs at the kitchen table. I like how they are specifically mentioning that it's sheathed or unsheathed. Also, that is a very intricate, detailed, like almost mall ninja sword. So I'm curious what the sheath looks like. You mean you'll hurt her?
Oh no, I wouldn't hurt anybody. Not willingly, anyway. If it's in self-defense, though...
Junie cracks her knuckles ominously.
Well, that's another matter.
Right. I shift away from Junie, my tail twitching. You look so kind, but you're actually kind of scary.
Only when the topic of justice comes up. I can't stand people who hurt those unable to defend themselves. It just isn't right. You did nothing wrong, Mikoto. You don't deserve to be punished for being born a fox girl. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're wrong.
Right, I see how it is. You're certainly passionate. I didn't think Junie would be so fiery. She doesn't look the sort with her pale skin, her clear blue eyes. But I suppose looks can be deceiving. I think she might even be more impulsive than I am. And then again, that might be a good thing if she wasn't. She never saved me. I really do owe her.
Now, don't you want to stay here, Mikoto? I don't mind if you do. I have more than enough food, and I don't mind if you want to use my bed. I can sleep on the floor.
The floor? Is that really okay?
It's fine, I mean, I am a knight. It wasn't so very long ago that I fought in the army, and I am used to far harsher conditions than this. You don't need to worry.
Junie smiles.
I'll be just fine.
Then, if you're sure it's okay, I pause, pondering. I know I should go back to Yamatai as soon as possible. I've been away from home for so long, and Hana will be worried sick. But the thought of going back to Yamatai now, when I finally managed to escape, it's far too oppressive. My adventures in Warren Village didn't go off to the most auspicious start, but it's true. But now I'm with Junie, I don't want to go back home. I want to learn much more from Junie, but the rest of the village, yeah, might be impossible, but it really would be nice if humans and fox girls could put their differences behind them. I really do wish we could become friends. I guess we're in the forest now? Oh, this is... Okay, so from what I can see, by sheathed, it means that she wrapped like 2 belts around part of it. That is not a sheath. That is wrapping 2 belts around part of it. It's one of those anime swords that's way too fucking big, so you actually have to have belts so you can like widen it and then close it, because it's like got that hulking like buster sword tip to it. It's so fucking impractical. Also,
Yes, I'm a knight. I wear armor only on my only on my forearms, and only on my legs below them thighs. Oh, that's my favorite part about anime girls is the fucking impractical bullshit armor.
I'm curious about this upbeat music, though. Seems like we're gonna have a nice time. Alright. Back into it. Hey, Junie, where are we going?
I just thought it would be nice to go get some fresh air. My home isn't very big, and staying inside for too long can get claustrophobic, don't you think?
Well, you have a point. Being a fox girl, I'm accustomed to spending time around my nature. I feel more at home among the towering oak trees of the forest than anywhere else. It's a nice warm day. Birds are twittering among the trees, and fronds of swaying grass brush across my ankles. When I inhale, I can smell the rich, loamy earth.
Yeah, the audio is so bad in this game.
Twigs snap beneath the heels of my shoes, and leave whispers on the trees. Under normal circumstances, I'd be happy to wander through these forests, particularly with a pretty girl like Junie in tow. But what if we run into anybody from the Warren village? Thought I had a burp, sorry.
We'll be fine, Mikoto. You worry too much.
A hornet say my problem is that I don't worry enough. I'd worried a little more about my future. Never would have come to Warren Village to begin with, but it's too late to fuss about that now. I just don't want to get you in I just don't want you to get into any trouble, that's all. I know we haven't known each other all that long, but you were nice to me, Junie, and you're important to me.
Mikoto.
Junie pauses in her trek and turns to face me, smiling sweetly.
I'm flattered, and the feeling is more than mutual. I care about you too.
Junie's hand raises to the hilt of her sword, which is strapped about her back.
That's why I won't let anybody hurt you, no matter what.
You mean it?
Cross my heart.
Thanks, I guess, but it seems kind of weird you'd be so willing to go out of your way for a girl you barely know. Are you always such a goody two-shoes?
I have heard people say I'm too generous, yes, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't like seeing other people suffer, especially not cute fourth girls like you.
Junie giggles and ruffles the top of my head. Her fingers brush the base of my ears, and a thrill of pleasure tiptoes up and down my spine. Why do her hands feel so good? With skills like this, she could start her own massage parlor. Her gentle caresses are totally wasted on being a knight. Junie wasn't made to swing around a sword, she could be fondling me instead. That line.
Hey, Mikoto, you've gone very quiet all of a sudden. Your face is turning red, too. You don't have a fever, do you?
I don't think so. I tried to refute Junie's question, but it's hard when my face is redder than that strawberry jam I had at breakfast this morning. My cheeks are positively burning up here. Junie leans her face a little closer to mine, her eyes narrowed.
You said you felt well this morning, but you did have a rough time of it yesterday. Perhaps you needed a bit more time to recover. Should we go back home instead?
No, I don't want to go back. I've gotten in your way enough already. It wouldn't be fair if I ruined your plans.
But you're so red!
That's 'cause I shift awkwardly from foot to foot. My ears are sensitive.
Sensitive?
That's right. When you rubbed them, it felt kind of good, or really, really good.
Oh, I see.
Junie blinks, comprehension drawing up on her pretty face. Part of me hoped she'd continue petting my head, but as one might be expected, she draws her hand away, her face flustered.
Sorry, Mikoto, I didn't know. There's a lot about fast girls that's a mystery to me.
Oh no, it's totally fine. It's not like I'm mad or anything. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I wish Junie would pet my head again. Ohana sometimes pats my head when I do a good job during our training sessions, but her touches are too soft and light. It's almost as though she's afraid of breaking me. If feels different with Junie. She might be a stranger, but...
Anyway, it looks like we're almost at our destination.
I was so lost in my thoughts, I stopped paying my surroundings any heed, but now Junie mentions it, we have walked pretty far. The forest is behind us now, the trees are giving way to a large meadow, the field is filled with long swaying blades of grass, decorated with wild flowers. There's a bubbling brook not far away, hidden among the trees. I can see it, but I can hear it, crystalline water, sloshing against the rocks with comforting regularity. My nose twitches, I can smell something sweet and mild. Primrose, maybe? I've never been to this place before, but it makes quite the first impression. Wow, this place is beautiful.
Isn't it? I knew you'd like it here, Mikoto. I used to come here to train a lot when I was a young girl. I'd work up a sweat, then clean myself off in the brook in the woods. I haven't been back in a while, though.
You mean you've been training to be an oid ever since you were a little kid?
That's right. I've always wanted to help those in need, and being a knight seemed like the most practical way to go about it. Back when I was young, I didn't have a real sword. I used to practice my swings with a wooden stick over and over until I wore myself out. I wasn't very good at fighting at first, my swings were too wild. I had to lash out and then I'd overbalance and fall over. I always ended up covered in dirt. But I didn't give up. I worked hard, long and hard, and in the end, my perseverance paid off. When I was 16, I was accepted into the army and moved to the capital so that I could continue with my training. I served in the army for 8 years. I fought a lot of wars and did my best to keep the country safe.
Wow, then there's no wonder Fallon seems to respect you so much. You really are a hero. Ah, my back is beating weird today.
Thank you, but I don't know if I'd go quite that far. I didn't become a knight for fame or fortune, I just wanted to help others. I believe that was what I was doing, and my time in the army was fulfilling, but... all that blood and death can get a girl down, you know.
I can hardly imagine. I spar with Ohana all the time, but I've never been in a real fight. I've never seen anybody die. I've never killed anybody either, but Junie, despite her gentle smile and her soft countenance, must have. She served in the army after all, and she's fought in wars. The sword struck to her back isn't for decoration. I can't help but be impressed and a little unnerved. Junie doesn't look like a killer, she's far too soft and gentle, but her resolve is even harder than I am.
That's probably a good thing, Mikoto. You don't want to watch other people die, it's harrowing.
But you did it for 8 years.
Yes, I did, and it started to wear me down. I told myself I was fighting for the sake of my country, but so many disputes were over silly things like land or resources. I didn't feel like I was fighting for a particularly noble cause. I had to wonder if I was really helping people, or if I was stroking my own ego. Plus, I felt a little homesick. It's kind of hard to believe. Compared to the capital, Warren Village is a tiny pinprick on the landscape. It hardly even registers. There's not much here, and there's little to do, but I've made fond memories here during my childhood, and I care for it all the same.
Excuse me. No, I think I can understand that. I've lived in Yamatai all my life, but now I'm free from it. I almost miss it. Almost, but not quite. I'm not ready to go back just yet.
I left the army a couple of years ago and came back to my old home. My parents moved away, but Warren Village is largely the same as I remember. Onwin is just as petty and close-minded as always. Fallon is still earnest and hard-working, and there are fireworks at the harvest festivals. The regularity is comforting, I guess. But I was starting to think I'd been here too long already. I was thinking about returning to the army.
Junie smiles at me, her eyes soft and gentle.
But I can hardly do that now you're here.
Huh? I'm sorry, I was getting in your way.
You don't need to apologize. I'm glad I met you. Your company is incredibly interesting. And I'd rather fight to protect you than fight to seize land that doesn't rightfully belong to me. It seems like a more valuable use of my time.
Are you sure about that?
Quite sure. Now, I didn't bring you here so I could talk your tail off. That wasn't what I intended. There's actually something I'd like us to do. You said earlier back in my cottage that you weren't the best at fighting, and when I was young, I always came here with a wooden stick to train. I know you're still recovering, but I thought it might be good if I gave you a few lessons on self-defense. It wouldn't help you fend off any attacks from other humans if you get in another sticky situation. And physical exercise is an excellent way to soothe the mind. Well, what do you think?
Junie's eyes sparkle with zealous energy.
Do you want to spar with me? I might not be as good as your tutor or Hana, did you say her name was, but I have a lot of experience and I'd love to share it with you.
Well, I don't know. Hana would probably be jealous. She's quite possessive, you know.
I understand. I would be possessive too if I had a student as cute as you.
How shameless. Do you really think flattery can pervert my moral compass?
Maybe not, but...
Junie grins.
If you agree to spar with me, I'll pat your head. Will that just help sway you?
I pause. Junie's got me, and she knows it. I don't particularly want to spar with Junie. I'm terrible at physical combat, and I'm afraid she'll laugh at me, but with a winning condition like that on the line, there's no way I could refuse. Junie's hands feel way too good. Damn it. I'm completely at her mercy. Man, they do it's like Mikoto's face is just like very almost mean centric. I don't know, it's very, very much stereotypical anime. She's given that, you know, that I don't know. I love that kind of anime eye to like show dismay or anger or something like that. It's a good visual styling. I also love how Junie's eyes, while she's still fighting, she's got that little bit of blush under her eyes, and that glance just making me like, oh yeah. All right, like that's her inner monologue, I guess. Hey, I thought you said you'd go easy on me.
I said no such thing! I want to train you, Mikoto, and there's no point if I don't give it my all. If you want to get any scraps that I'm not around to help, you have to defend yourself, and your pursuers won't all be as soft as Fallon. They certainly won't go easy on you.
I know that, but this is impossible. I haven't struck you once.
Then you'll just have to try harder. Do you really think I'm going to stand here and let you beat me?
Why you? I like Junie and all, but she's pretty infuriating right now. I'd be content if I could land one hit on her, but her skills are out of this world. She intercepts every single one of my strikes with relative ease. The smiles on her face and they're fading. Apologies. It's allergy season for me. And my meds have well and truly turned off at this point. That's one of the reasons why I usually keep this down to an hour, but we still got plenty of time. Let's keep going. It's almost like she's toying with me. God, every time we do sound effects in this game, it's shit. This is really frustrating. You're even worse than Ohana. I've never been able to beat her either, but at least she acts concerned about me while sparring. And she lets me rest my head on her lap when we're done, and she runs her head through my hair. She's way nicer than you.
I'm sorry, Mikoto. It's force of habit. I was in the army for 8 years, remember? I was trained rigorously for hours every day. I'm used to this kind of training, and I was taught not to show pity for my foes. I like you a good deal, but my personal feelings are irrelevant now. If you want to learn how to fight, you must give it your all.
Yeah, look, I ain't heard that before. This would be much easier if I could use magic. Then I wouldn't have to bother with weapons. I could just set your hair on fire.
If you do something that cruel, I'm glad you can't use any magic. A girl's hair is her pride and joy. It takes effort to keep this smooth and silky. Ugh.
Give me a break. Your hair's still all soft and silky. We're supposed to be fighting. You're not even sweating. Why am I the only one who's getting tired?
It's because you don't know how to control your body yet. As I do. Take some deep breaths. You need to focus.
But you're only a puny human. You shouldn't be able to beat me so easily.
I might be a puny human, but I have a lot of experience. I flatter myself I know my way around the battlefield far better than you do. I'm accustomed to dispatching my enemies, and I can do so without tangling my hair or smearing my lipstick.
You ain't wearing lipstick. What a skill to have. And I won't hold back. I'm gonna give it my all. I swing my makeshift weapon at Junie, even more force than before, but she deflects the bow easily.
Too slow.
I swing again and again and again, my tail swishing with agitation, but Junie continues to deflect my attacks. No matter what I do, it isn't working. This is hopeless.
No, it isn't. Nothing is truly hopeless, not if you continue to try. You just need to focus more, and don't telegraph your attacks quite so much. Sometimes subtlety can be a more effective weapon than brute force.
Subtlety, huh? Then how about this? I lunge at Junie, swinging the stick from an angle this time, but I miscalculated. My poor ankle twists against the ground and a burst of pain shoots through my body. I drop my weapon to the ground before Junie has a chance to deflect it. And of course it lands on my foot. Ow. I jump back, whimpering in pain, and stumble. I'm falling.
Hey, Mikoto!
Junie throws her stick to one side. She reaches out with one arm to catch me, but it's too late. Hey, I know what's happening. We're getting the anime scene. Oh no, I have fallen. Oh no, I have also fallen directly on top of you. And now we're staring at each other. And oh no, my hand seems to have accidentally fallen on your boob. Oh no. I stumble over backwards, landing on the ground in an elegant heap. My rear is stuck up in the air, my tail twitching while my head is pressed against the dirt. Poof, poof. I spread a mouthful of grassy saliva on the ground, then hold myself into a sitting position. My hair is tangled, my face covered in smuts of dirt. What an auspicious end to my first training session with Junie. This is really heckin' embarrassing. Okay, so not what I thought was gonna happen. But, hey, whatever. Would have been a good time for that to happen, Sakura. This usually they had to take every chance to get that particular position in. I guess it doesn't matter who trains me. I'm a terrible fighter through and through.
Oh no, you didn't do that badly, Mikoto.
Really? Is that your honest opinion?
Well,
Junie glances to one side, her lower lip trembles, her shoulder shakes. Then, with a loud snort, Junie bursts into peals of laughter. Gee, thanks.
I'm sorry, Mikoto, it's just the look on your face. It's far too precious. I know you've tried hard, but...
Jeez. I pull myself to my feet, trembling uneasily, and wipe a few clods of dirt from my cheek. So instructor you are. This is precisely why I don't want to fight with you in the first place. I knew this would happen. So clumsy.
It's okay, Mikoto. We can all be good at everything. I wasn't very good when I started training either.
Junie's attempts to flatter my injured ego might be more effective if she hadn't been sniggering about my failures less than 5 seconds prior. As it is, however, the words make elf in sincerity. I know she's trying to cheer me up, but... You said you were a child when you started training.
Yes, and?
I'm not a child. I'm 25, for goodness sake. 25 and I only have one lousy tail. I can't use magic, I can't use weapons. I'm such a screw-up.
Hey now, don't be like that. You did your best and I'm proud of you. Things might not have concluded in a satisfactory way, but it isn't the end of the world. There's always tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
That's right. You can stay with me for as long as you want, and I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll support you no matter what happens, so it's too early to give up on yourself. I believe in you, even if you don't.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in the Junie that believes in you. Points to whoever gets that reference. We're virtually strangers. Where's all this ill-founded confidence coming from?
I don't know, I just have a hunch is all.
A hunch?
No matter how lacking your skills may be right now, I know you're not the sort of person to give up. You can do it, I'm sure you can. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. You just need to keep doing your best.
The next day, Junie trains me in the meadow again. Of course, I fail spectacularly, and I end up with a few bruises. I'm not just sore about that, in more ways than one, but I'm also grateful that Junie's been letting me stay with her for so long. Yeah, we got a half hour left, okay. That's why, a little after dinner, I decided to do something nice for Junie. I just hope it works out.
Hey, Mikoto, what are you doing?
You're baking.
I can see that, but why?
Because I want to help you. You've done an awful lot for me, and I want to thank you for somehow for all of your kindness. You refused to cut up my boobs, so this is the only way I can think of repaying you.
That's very kind of you, Mikoto, but...
Junie surveys the mixing bowl in my hands cautiously.
What are you baking exactly?
Apple pie.
Ah, I see. Now, I'm curious. Have you ever baked before, Mikoto?
No, never. Oh, Hana always cooks for me.
I see.
Junie's frown deepens deeper still. Why is she looking at me like that?
Just be careful, okay? I don't want you cutting yourself or getting burned.
I'll be fine, Junie. What do you take me for?
A clumsy fox girl who's always falling over and making a mess?
That was just a one time. Okay, 2 times, or maybe 3 time thing. Talk about putting my best foot forward. I'm not completely worthless. It's just a pie. How hard could it be? You've got to throw the ingredients together, then mix them all up. It's so simple. Even a failure fox girl with one tail like me can do it.
Well, you sure sound passionate about this project. I'll not bother you, then. But there is a reason you chose to make an apple pie. A fruit salad would have been much simpler to make. That doesn't involve any ovens.
I guess you're right, but I just wanted... Yeah, but I wanted to make you something a little nicer. Besides, I hold a mixing bowl to my chest, stirring the flour and eggs together with a wooden spoon pilfered from Junie's kitchen. You like sweet things, don't you? Apple pie, one of your favorites.
Oh, did I say that?
I don't know. I guess you must have. Maybe she told me about her favorite food during the festival, but I can't quite recall our exact conversation. Oh well, it's not like it's very important. I need to keep working on this pie. I thought cooking would be simple enough, but it's surprisingly exhausting. This bowl feels heavy, and these ingredients are pretty hard to mix. Is it just me, or has this eggy, floury concoction thickened up way too fast? It's almost like quicksand.
I don't mean to pry, Mikoto, but the consistency of your pastry looks a bit strange.
That's, how it's supposed to look. I'm just following the recipe.
What recipe?
Recipe Hana gave me. Don't worry, Junie, it'll be fine. This is how fox girls cook. It'll be fine. There. Right there. Wait, hold on. There. Right there.
Never changed Sakura games. Alright. Really?
Junie's brow creases.
Are you sure you don't want to add a dash of water to the mixture? It might help soften things up.
It's fine, Junie. You don't need to worry. I know what I'm doing. It's all under control. I've already screwed up so much these last few days I can afford to fail at my cooking endeavors too. Then Junie really will think I'm a loser. I just want to make her happy. I'm doing this for her sake, but the bowl really is heavy and my hands are slippery with egg yolk. I can't keep hold of it any longer. It's sliding from my grasp.
Hey, Mikoto, watch out!
Fall alert. Sorry. I reach out in desperation, frantic attempts to catch the bowl, but I trip over something.
Oh!
Or, to be more precise, I trip over Junie. The bowl poured with mixed ingredients falls to the floor. So too do Junie and I. And this is where we get the "oh no, I fell on top of you" image, right? Yep, there we go. Let us just bask in this. I think my head is in the crook of Junie's knee. Yeah. So, I'm not covering anything important. Ugh. My, what a wonderful sight. What is the chunks of shit in there if you're making an apple pie? Hold on, let me take a closer look. It looks like hunks of meat in there. What the fuck? It's like chocolate with hunks of meat and like... Perhaps this was supposed to be that porridge? I don't know. Why is there another bowl on top? Like just above Junie's head, there's another bowl that looks like it's got chocolate or some shit in there. Just a random... Who leaves bread out like that? If you leave bread out like that, you're a proper heathen. Sorry, I'm a cook, so a lot of this is just making me go... Argh! But... let us... Alright, we've had a nice look at this. Let's continue the story. We collapsed in a heap on the ground. Junie sprawled, legs open, our chests pushing against each other. Junie's silky blonde hair, which she cares for so tenderly, is messy and rumpled. A few globs of spilled dough stuck to her cheeks. Her face is flushed, and her chest rises and falls with short, surprised breaths. Our bodies are pressed so closely together I can hear her heart beating beneath the fabric of her clothes. I thought Junie was pretty from a distance, but looking at her now, she's not just pretty, she's beautiful.
Oh, no!
Junie glances around the kitchen, her brow furrowed. The mixing bowl was upturned, dough spilling all over the kitchen and all over us too. At least the bowl didn't break. It was made of sturdy material, built to last, and it was able to resist the inexorable pull of gravity. I guess it's one positive about this rotten situation. But all my hard work was totally ruined. I can't eat that pastry now. It's gone. Or is it?
Hey, Mikoto, I'm sorry, but you're kind of heavy. Could I ask you to move?
I don't reply. I'm too busy staring at Junie's face, studying her with newfound intensity. I should be bummed about my ruined attempt at cooking, but I guess I kind of am, but it almost seems worthwhile now if it means I can spend a few moments snuggled up with Junie like this. I can smell her distant aroma, tantalizing like flowers on a grassy meadow. I've only been with her a couple of days, but it feels like I've known her my whole life.
Mikoto, hey, Mikoto, what are you?
Yeah, I figured. that was a cute little bit of animation there. Aww. Oh, Sakura, games never change. Junie breaks off, her eyes widened with surprise as I drop my tongue against her cheek. There's a glob of dough stuck to her fair skin, and I felt obliged to lick it off. I mean, it is my fault it got there.
Mikoto, what are you doing?
Cleaning you up.
I can see that, but, you don't need to do that. I just have to have a bath.
Shh. I press one finger against Junie's soft, glossy lips, effectively silencing her. This is all my fault, so I'll take responsibility. I might be useless, no good fox girl, but I don't want to cause you any problems. You helped me a lot, so I should help you. It's only fair. My tongue pokes out my lips once more. I slide it along Junie's cheek, lapping up the dough. Sorry about that. I'll mute my phone. Apologies. The consistency of the dough needs some work. It doesn't taste all that bad. It's sweet and I sigh as I let its flavor dissolve across my tongue. Not bad.
You mean the pastry?
That's right. For the first attempt, it wasn't that awful. But maybe it only tastes good because I'm licking it off of you.
You mean you want to lick food off my naked skin? Isn't that a little lewd?
What's the problem? Don't you like it when I lick you? I press my body against Junior's more snugly until there isn't an inch of space between us. I feel beads of sweat beginning to trickle on my skin. My tail swishes. Why do I feel so hot?
Mikoto,
Junie blinks at me, her eyes larger than ever before. Her face is painted with an adorable pink blush, which makes her look significantly younger than she really is. You may have been a knight for 8 years, but you don't know anything at all about the human body. Maybe I could teach you.
Teach me?
That's right. I can show you all sorts of interesting things, my cute little knight. Yeah. Junie squirms, spinning at me, pinned between the kitchen counter and my own body. Even if she wanted to pull away, she couldn't. I suppose she could always push my body off hers with force, but one of her arms is wedged beneath my side and doesn't look like she has strength enough to shift me. Maybe she wants this just as much as I do. Maybe.
Have you ever done anything like this before, Mikoto?
No. Why do you ask?
You seem so confident about all this, but as for me, my heart is racing.
That's okay, my heart is racing too, but I think that's only natural.
It is?
Yeah, it's because you're so pretty. I just can't help myself. I want to use you up, my adorable Junie.
Mikoto.
It doesn't matter that I'm inexperienced. When I'm with you, it feels right. I don't want to let you go. I lick Junie's cheek again and she whimpers. Her body feels so good beneath mine, all I can do is stop myself from tearing her clothes off and ravishing her in the kitchen on the pastry floor.
Damn! That's a line! Okay.
I want her. I want her more than I've ever wanted anything in my whole life. I didn't know if it was possible for me to feel so strongly about another person. I push my body closer against Junie's, my mouth hovering over her own. I could lean in and kiss her. I want to kiss her, but... What? All of a sudden, clarity returns. I see myself as a third party, might straddling Junie's leg, my bust pushed up against her own. I'm acting completely out of control, just like a feral fox in heat. This isn't who I am. I'm the daughter of Himiko, the leader of the Untitled Fox girls. If I push myself on Junie now, she might never forgive me. I need to get a grip.
Yes, Mikoto? What is it?
Crap. Junie's soft, sensuous voice is doing nothing for my own self-control, but I've got to stop this madness somehow. I don't want to do something I'll grow to regret. And so it is, with supreme self-control, I pull myself away from my companion. I get to my feet, brushing pastry from my hair and clothes, then bow my head. I'm really sorry, Junie. I don't know what came over me. It must have hit my head harder than I thought when I took a tumble in the forest, because I wasn't thinking straight. I really am sorry for screwing things up. I just hope you can forgive me.
Hey, Mikoto, wait!
Junie calls after me, but it's already too late. Oh, you're running out! Oh, come on. That was a nice scene. It almost... Okay, it did get pretty lewd. It almost got too lewd. I turned on my heels, opened her front door, and pulled from her house. Junie's touch, her voice, her smell. It's all too much for me to handle. If I stay with her a second longer, I really will go mad. Oh, jeez. This is the worst. I trudge through the undergrowth, my ears dripping with tail deflated. I've been traipsing the forest for about an hour now. The sun has already set. It's dark and the cool wind makes me shiver. I can't really believe I jumped on Junie like that. What is with me? I was acting like a wild beast. I slapped my cheeks with my hand in an attempt to chastise myself. Not if that it does much good. It's too late to recant my poor behavior now. That won't help me repair my relationship with Junie. It's already ruined everything. I wonder if she'll be mad at me. I wouldn't be surprised if she was. I sexually assaulted her, and I've only known her for a few days. Not that it'd make things better if I'd known her my whole life, but Junie might be nice, but I don't know if she's that nice. Will she be able to forgive me? I sigh. She was the only person in this village who was willing to be my friend, but now... I look up at the sky. You can see the moon through the gaps in the trees. It shimmers mysteriously like a pale. I sigh, kick at the grass. It does lighten to... It does little to lighten my mood, but just the feeling of the soil beneath my feet helps me feel grounded. My nose all sort of clogged up from allergies. Sorry. I'm being ridiculous. I'm going to keep my hands or my mouth to myself. I've never felt that way about anybody before, so why? It doesn't make sense. For some reason, when I saw Junie on the floor, her clothes rumpled and her cheeks stained with batter, she looked so irresistible I couldn't stop myself. I like her. I don't really know her, but I like her. Genius. I run a hand through my hair. I'm really so desperate for company that I'll jump on the first hot girl I see. That's pretty pathetic. It's no way to repay Junie for her kindness either. I know I should go back and apologize, anxious though I am, but... Wait. There's just one problem with this little plan of mine. Where am I, anyway? I whirled about completely at a loss. When I left Junie's home, I didn't have a solid plan in my head. I just kept walking without any regard to the direction. I wanted to get some fresh air and clear my lungs. I thought it'd be good if I put a bit of space between myself and the object of my desires. Not that Junie's an object, that's just a figure of speech, but I think that it might have been a little too effective in that regard. I have no idea where I am. I'm going to find my way back. This is just great. I'm completely lost. I'm gonna wander around these woods forever until I get mauled to death by a bear. Too young, cute to die. Please have pity on me. And as if in direct response to my plaintive cries. Huh? I hear a rustle in the undergrowth. It sounds like footsteps, loud and menacing. Something's coming towards me. This is the worst day ever. I crouch on the ground and place my hands over my head, my ears flatten against my scalp, and my whole body twitches. I'm so afraid I'm starting to tear up, damn it. Sorry for invading your habitat, Mr. Bear. I mean you no harm. Stop beak, you useless fox girl with only one tail. I won't hurt you, so please don't eat me and let me live. I've never even got to rub Junie's boobs before I died, damn it. I think... I wanna say it's Ohana, so... What is this about Junie's boobs? I blink, still sniffling, and drop my arms away from my head. Slowly, tremulously, I look up. My eyes meet not those of the hungry bear, yelled and filled with rage, but I recognize you. Your name is Fallon, right? Oh no, it's Fallon! So, now I get to go with my children voice. Need beer. It's a sad sight. An empty bottle. Good thing I got more. Oh, it's actually better lukewarm than it is cold. Odd. Your name is Fallon, right? Yeah, that's right. I recognize you too. You're that naughty fox girl from before. Bingo. What gave it away?
Oh, one or two things. The tail for a start.
Oh, yeah. I guess it stands out a little.
Just a touch.
Fallon snores, but she doesn't look particularly angry with me. She's not at all like the village chief. What was his name again? And when it was particularly apoplectic with rage when he's...
I don't know that word.
Fallon seems distinctly more chill. Well, chill as a woman can be. She being that tall and muscular. I've never seen a woman more swole than her before. She's like a bodybuilder. Fallon isn't holding a weapon like she was at the festival, but it doesn't matter with hands like that. She could totally crush my skull.
Hey, you haven't hurt yourself, have you?
No, I'm fine.
You're catching on the ground. I was wondering why you'd hurt your ankle.
I'm okay, really. I was just a little afraid.
Of me?
No, I thought you were
Do I look like a bear to you?
with a huge body like that, maybe. That's the response I want to give, but I'm not sure if Fallon will appreciate it. If I offended her, she might really crush me to death. And now, you're definitely a woman, very handsome woman with incredible biceps. You're not really my type, but sure, a lot of guys like this kind of thing. A lot of women too. Crap, what am I talking about? Must be more nervous than I thought. Fortunately, Fallon doesn't look mad, instead she only sighs.
Do you ever stop talking?
Sometimes when I'm sleeping.
Good grief. Well, anyway, I'll help you take my hand.
Thanks. Well, I accept Fallon's outstretched hand and rise to my feet. My butt's dusted with dirt, and so is my tail. I put my hands against my behind, trying to rid myself of the worst of the muck. I don't want to look like I've had an accident. It'd be way too embarrassing.
So I'll take Eva and stay in with Jeannie.
Is that alright? She carried me to her home and she cleaned me up and she dried my clothes. She's been very, very helpful to me.
Well, geez, that Jeannie.
Fallon frowns. She looks displeased, but not angry. It's kind of hard to get a read on this woman. I don't understand her at all. Does she hate me or not? If only there was an easy way to tell.
Jeannie's always too damn nice to everybody. That's why I like her. Boy, I can't be quite burdensome.
Burdensome? I bowed my hands on my hips. Are you saying I'm a burden?
You know it, you are.
Fallon flicks my forehead and I recoil, wincing. Hello.
Hey now, don't be such a baby. I'll barely touch you.
Well, maybe not in your eyes, but those fingers of yours are thicker than sausages. You better watch out, lady, before you cause some more serious harm.
If I hurt you, I'm sorry. It won't my intention. Well, don't just like you do. Real, this is just complicated.
You're telling me? I don't really get all this, but... Weren't you trying to attack me the other day? I thought you wanted me dead.
I really won't hurt you. I was only carrying that oven's orders. I felt bad about it, but...
But what? You think you could say sorry and I'll forgive you for pointing a spear at my face? It was a very